One state could decide the outcome of the whole presidential race, Pennsylvania. And Vice President Kamala Harris is going to face her most difficult opponent there. J.J. Abbott, a Democratic strategist in the state working on an outside campaign to support Harris, said that it would be the hardest swing state. It's the most varied state of the three blue wall states in terms of the kinds of areas a candidate has to run in order to win. The state's second Democratic operative only stated that the contest will be a nail-biter. Pennsylvania is a battleground state, and both Democrats and Republicans have invested more money in it than in any other, highlighting its significance. According to polls, Trump and Hillary Clinton are running a closer race right now than they were in 2016 or 2020, respectively, with Joe Biden. Both cycles, Trump substantially surpassed polling averages. He defeated Clinton by a razor-thin margin and lost to Biden by an even thinner one. Harris has two more challenges ahead of him. Born in Scranton, Biden, the candidate she defeated at the head of the ticket, had extensive, long-standing relationships both personally and politically throughout the state. But Harris is only now starting to cultivate those relationships. In addition, no woman has ever been assigned to or won a campaign for president, governor, or senator, making the Keystone State the only active battleground state in which this has never happened. The second Democratic operative from Pennsylvania stated, "I think that she can win," referring to the state as a fickle place. Right now, I see a lot of Democratic excitement. However, that doesn't imply the Republican enthusiasm won't resurface or that it doesn't exist. The former president has the same chance as he did in the previous cycles if he decides to stop being unpredictable. From a larger perspective, Trump's situation cannot worsen than it was in 2020, all of the societal turmoil following a pandemic. As the post-Labor Day sprint gets underway, NBC News spoke with over 20 Democratic and Republican operatives, candidates, officials, and party insiders to get a sense of how the battle for Pennsylvania is taking shape. A nationwide campaign. The expenditures reveal how seriously each candidate takes Pennsylvania. According to data from the company Ad Impact, until the end of August, the Philadelphia media market had the highest amount of ad spending nationwide, totaling over $82 million. Republicans have spent $102 million in the state this year, compared to $114 million spent by Democrats. With Democrats spending over $56 million and Republicans spending over $52 million last month, that number has significantly increased in previous weeks. Democrats have already set up almost $84 million for the autumn there, while Republicans have set down more than $74 million. Part of the thrust of the advertisements from Trump and his allies has been criticizing Harris on the economics, while Harris has attempted to emphasize aspects of her economic platform and bolster her biography. Democrats acknowledge the challenging battle the state will provide this autumn, but they also cited a number of reasons to be optimistic about their chances of success. First off, since Trump's victory in 2016, no MAGA-aligned contender has emerged victorious in a Pennsylvania primary. Among the losers were State Senator Doug Mastriano and celebrity Dr. Mehmet Oz, who were soundly defeated in their respective races for governor and the Senate in the previous round. In addition, they see a sizable number of voters who supported Trump in the state's Republican primary for former U.S. Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley, who are ready to be taken advantage of. In addition, the Harris campaign believes it is considerably more organized than Trump's, citing 350 on-the-ground employees and 36 campaign offices around the state, most of which are in Democratic-leaning areas but even a few rural or Republican ones. In contrast to 2020, when the pandemic was at its worst, Democrats felt more liberated to intensify their ground strategy and send their candidates all throughout the state. As she gets ready for her first presidential debate, Harris, who has visited the state 10 times this year, is camped out in Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, visited many locations on a 2-day tour of Pennsylvania this week. According to a Harris campaign official, Pennsylvania is the most important state, and their approach is to campaign across the Commonwealth rather than only in the Democratic strongholds of Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, the collar counties, and nearby suburbs. This insider, who spoke openly and asked to remain anonymous, stated, "The Harris campaign is very committed to the idea we're going to compete everywhere," before mentioning the campaign's pre-convention bus tour through the western portion of the state. "It is evident that we are on the offensive because they did not only travel to Blue Allegheny